The more contagious British variant strain of COVID appears in test results from several incoming travelers.
It's not surprising that we now have confirmation of this variant in the Cayman Islands, as we know it to be virulent and widespread.
That's Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee, who says the three are from a selection of 19 positive samples sent for genomic sequencing about 2 weeks ago. The three samples with the British variant came from travelers from the UK and Barbados. CARFA is able to assist with genomic sequencing for a selection of samples with high viral loads at a rate of about 10 samples a month. Dr. Lee tells Radio Cayman that government's strict adherence to quarantine protocols is keeping the COVID-19 threat at bay.
I strongly encourage everyone dealing with travellers to remain vigilant and adhere to infection prevention and control strategies at all times.
Of the three people found positive with this more virulent strain of COVID-2, one traveler group has been discharged from quarantine. The other remains in quarantine. In the meantime, the Public Health Department continues its COVID-19 vaccination program for everyone in Stage 1 groups A, B, and C. That's healthcare workers, those with serious medical conditions, or who are considered high risk, as well as those the age of 60 and older. The national vaccination effort continues this week as the Health Services Authority administers the second dose to those eligible for it. Public Health will also be starting the next stage of the vaccination program on Wednesday. Similar to Stage 1, Stage 2 will be broken into two groups and will begin with anyone over the age of 16 with a medical condition that's considered vulnerable to COVID-19. For a complete list of upcoming vaccination clinics, you can head to radiocayman.gov.ky. As to the sister islands, the national vaccination program continues there as well. For those in Stage 1 or Group A of Stage 2 who have not been vaccinated, the first dose of vaccines will be available Wednesday through Thursday. For those who've been vaccinated 21 days ago, the second dose of the vaccine will be available to them on Saturday, January 30th, the 31st, 1st of February and 2nd of February. The vaccines will be administered from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Aston Ready Center and at the Little Cayman Clinic on Wednesday, the 3rd of February from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, if you have any questions about this and you're a resident of the Sister Islands, you can call 925-1190. There is also additional information at hsa.ky. After several reports on social media, the RCIPS Financial Crime Unit says it has begun investigations based on complaints of fraud, where it's alleged that someone's been taking payment for shutter and screen installation works that they don't complete. Police say some of the complaints it received go back 4 years. An investigating officer from FCIU has been appointed to investigate all related complaints, and we're told an investigation file will be prepared for legal ruling in due course. If you have been a victim of this activity, you're asked to make direct contact with the RCIPS Financial Crime Investigation Unit at 949-8797 or email rcips.fcu@rcips.ky. When the island's beaches were closed during the shelter-in-place in 2020, Department of Environment officials say there were little to no disturbances for turtles. In fact, we actually saw new nesting locations on island. But the year still had some challenges. DOE Research Officer Paul Chin.
The one that we had, the big one that kind of set the island on edge, also set us at the department and our turtle program on edge as well, because with the rising seas and waves, the nests are in threat of inundation. And with inundation comes drowned turtles, baby turtles, and eggs. So this year it was a little bit more tedious than usual because a lot of our nests were in storm surge territory, so they had to be moved up the beach and into safer, more drier areas. So that was that took a lot of man hours to do. And at one point, I think we worked the 12 or 14-hour day just to move all those nests that were in threat.
Paul says poaching was low in 2020, but there was still some man-made interference.
But the other issue that we did have was with lighting. Turtles are attracted to artificial lighting, and they end up going in the wrong direction, which is why this year we had a major push for condos and hotels on the critical nesting areas. Try to emphasize the importance of changing out that lighting to turtle-friendly lighting.
Mr. Chin says though it was a record nesting year, that doesn't actually depict how many nesting turtles there are. If you take the 507 recorded in Grand Cayman and divide it by the average of 7 nests per turtle, he says it shows there are far fewer than 100 turtles actually nesting on our beaches in Grand Cayman. The University College of the Cayman Islands has a new provost and vice president of academic affairs. Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins has more.
J.D. Mosley Matchett, who has served as the interim provost and vice president of academic affairs at the University College of the Cayman Islands since May 2020, has been named to the permanent post. As vice president and provost, Mosley Matchett will oversee the internal operations of UCCI, while UCCI president and CEO Stacey McAfee focuses on more external matters, such as partnering with industry and other educational institutions. McAfee said Mosley Matchett knows the internal operations of the university and is well liked among faculty and staff. Mosley Matchett is a professor with a broad background, including a doctorate in business administration, a law degree, and experience as a private business owner. Has been with UCCI since 2009 and previously served as an interim dean of academic affairs and director of graduate studies. Dr. Stacey McAfee said among the approximately 40 candidates the university considered for the job, Mosley Matchett was the best fit. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
The cabinet has decided to name a new national hero, Mrs. Leila McTaggart Ross-Shire.
The Cayman Islands names a new national hero.
This honor recognizes the significance of her contributions as a patriot and nation builder. Not only is she renowned for her national song, Beloved Isle Cayman, but she was also the author of many poems that reflected the Caymanian people, our spirit, and our way of life.
Premier the Honorable Alden McLaughlin at Monday's Heroes Day event at Heroes Square in Georgetown.
It's so long in coming. We've been looking forward to this day for so very long. I think it's well deserved. My grandmother was a champion in so many ways, and I'm just so honored, humbled that we've got to see this come to fruition.
Great-granddaughter Lisa Scott spoke to Radio Cayman shortly after the ceremony.
It's something, the song just unifies the whole island. It's just something special about that song. I mean, I sing it every once in a while. I get goosebumps, and I think that it's something that brings us all together. It really does unify us as a country.
Monday's event was the culmination of 3 days of ceremonies in Cayman Brac, at Pedro St. James, and then in Heroes Square, recognizing the contribution of seafarers and their families to the development of the islands. On Monday, 8 people were welcomed to the Order of the Cayman Islands, and 3 busts of previously named national heroes unveiled in Heroes Square. If you missed it, you can catch the live streams on the CIGTV YouTube channel. That is your latest local news from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.